Good morning. Literally here, not even like prepared for the day with my morning coffee. Big message came through from the universe. I hope that the rest of it will continue during this download. But yeah, this is like the first time that I've had a message come through that I'm like, I have to film it right now in a long time. But I just have one of those personalities where I'm like, the universe calls and like, I don't know, it's so seductive. I just have to get into the message. It's really juicy. I kind of feel like I'm a slut for the universe. I almost want that on a t-shirt, slut for the universe. That's kind of funny. Maybe if I ever get merch done, it'll be slut for the universe t-shirt. In the best way, okay guys? Take this like tongue in cheek, okay? Like no slut shaming around here. Like we celebrate women around here, okay? All right. So let's see. What is the message? I wrote down a big messy lot. The thing that first came through was like something about the messiness of completion, and like please don't let your mind go in the gutter, but what I'm talking about is like the way that 7 and 3 can add up to 10, the same way that like 5 plus 5 can add up to 10. Bear with me here. There's something about there's many paths that reach the same portal. There's many parts that can make up the same whole, and there's something about the wholeness here, the wholeness of the universe, and how the wholeness of the universe cannot exist without the microcosm of all of the parts that are within it, you know? Like there's so many decimal points and decimal places from 0 to 10, right? Like it's not just like we have the like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like we count up to 10, but like all of the spaces that exist between 1 and 2 are infinite, you know? There's all these like tiny little fractals that exist in the spaces between things, and like there's something about the fractal spiral nature of the universe here, where every single moment has these tiny little fragments of wholeness within it, has these tiny little spirals. Like every single like eddy in the air is like this little spiral universe of its own making, and how like every word that you say is destroying universes because you could have chosen a different word in that moment. And there's just something about the nature of the universe and how everything is always becoming, how we have this amazing beautiful playground of presence, how everything is like possible in every single moment, but you can't be everything in every single moment. But somehow the universe manages to contain the everything in every single moment, like, and it's expanding, it's like the everything that exists is always in a state of becoming and is always in a state of expansion. I mean, like, even if we go into like kind of some sort of like quantum physics here, which is something that I'm going to be diving into and studying more so this year, so hopefully I can bring more of that side of it into these channels as well, as I expand with my knowledge and awareness of those kind of topics from that perspective. But there's something here about the wholeness of the universe and how there's so many like micro iterations ongoing all the time, and how each one of us is one of those fractal expressions, and even within us there are fractal expressions. There's like things that we're becoming. There's multiple timelines, multiple storylines ongoing in our lives at the same time. And I'm feeling like you are finding these beautiful golden threads, and you're starting to follow these threads within yourself. You're like becoming, there's something on the teacher, learner, student axis here, where you're like learning things within yourself, you're realizing things within yourself, you're stepping into your mastery. There are things that you've noticed, understood about yourself, and you're starting to like dive into them more so. There's this self-appreciation that's occurring, there's this self-actualization, self-realization that's occurring. You are noticing and realizing and becoming awake and aware to the fact of like the nature of who you are as a universal being, as a God image creation, as a powerful creator in your own life. There's like so much that's coming under your purveyance, under your domain at this time. I'm like seeing the Emperor in my mind. There's a lot of like, and the ankh is so important. I had this very interesting download about the ankh symbol. It's known as the key of life. It comes from Egypt. It is, you know, it exists. I keep getting the word extant. It exists as a like hieroglyph, you know, and like, so from my understanding, the translation of that symbol has really been like, they've called it the key of life, and it has been this sort of representation of kind of life after death, possibly like resurrection, things like that. Maybe not exactly resurrection, but you know, along those lines, the way that the Egyptians and especially the nobility, you know, they carved out a place for themselves in time. They built their pyramids. They had their little they had their belief of like the life after, that this is just one realm and that there is a realm that comes after, and that we have needs in those realms too. And they had their whole rituals and everything in their society set up on those beliefs. And the download that came to me from the ankhs, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but the download that came to me about the ankh is also that the ankh also represents the point of attraction. The ankh represents the personal present point, the place where you exist in the right here and now. And when you hold the ankh, when you understand that you hold the ankh in your hand, as the emperor does, and he holds a coin or like this gold like orb or like golden like round object in his other hand, it's like you hold that balance of the infinite and the finite, of the potential and the corporeal, you know, like the things that are already real and manifest in your life. That is one aspect, that is one fractal, that is one lens that you can view the world. But there is always more becoming, there is always more coming in. And the ankh is almost like this scepter of knowledge, this scepter of awareness, where it represents that you hold the potential at all times. You are the crafter, the creator. You're the one directing your ship. You're the one who's manifesting your life. You're the one who's in charge, in a way, of your reality, of your universe. You're the one who's driving your universe. Like the ankh is a representation of the power of the presence, okay? And the power of the presence and what is here and now within you, what you're casting your mind to, what you're paying your attention to, what you're giving your intention and your attention to. Those are the things that are calling things in. It's like a lightning rod, where it's like calling something to you inexorably. But it's also the fact that you don't feel that anything is outside of yourself, and you don't feel that you are needing to go out and chase, or like there's nothing missing. It's the point of like there's nothing missing, realizing that everything already is extant, everything already exists, like everything already exists. And there is so much space. There's so much space, like between the 1 and the 2, there are infinite decimal points, okay? There's an infinity that exists within you. There is a well of depth that is not only currently infinite, but is also expanding infinitely, exponentially at all times. Like the amount that's within you is beyond. The fact that you're alive is a huge miracle in and of itself. We walk around like life is normal, like everything is like, you know, like we fold our clothes and we like go on our little walks. You're a miracle, you're a walking miracle. And so it's pardon me, it's time that you started acting like it. It's time that you started standing in your power. And I do believe that this is what's happening. Like so many of us are waking up, so many of us are standing in our power, so many of us are actually like following, again, I'm called to those inner golden threads. Like there's so many beautiful teachers out here. The most adept teachers are constantly handing students back to themselves, okay? There is no cult of authority that will stand in the future going forward. We have seen where that has led us in the past. We've seen where giving away our power, giving away our sovereignty, giving away our right to wisdom, our inherent right to hold the ankh ourselves, the way that we have handed that to others, the way that we have seen that be abused and that be, you know, taken for granted. And like other people have been so like, oh, the structures are just crumbling around that. Like there is no energy that will be able to sustain, uphold, like to sustain that again over time. And the beauty of this whole thing is that like the universe just looks at this whole story and laughs. Like there is so much benevolence that has held each and every one of us along each and every one of our lifetimes. There has never been a point that we've been alone. There's never been a point that you have been separate from the universe. It could not ever be so, because you are a fractal. You are a God being. You are a droplet in the ocean. There's no way that you can be separate. Just because you have individuality, just because you have sovereignty, just because you have been granted this lifetime to play with. Like, don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. You are a part of the whole. You are whole, and you are part of the whole. There is no separation. You are a part of the whole, and the whole is a part of you. The fact that everything exists, like, I really feel like I'm also like connecting to, okay, let me talk about these golden threads for a second, because it seems as though there has been an awakening of sort of certain realizations of gifts that are yours, that you either have downplayed or people have told you are weaknesses, or it's just like things within yourself that you've taken for granted. The thing is that the world is set up around, like, there's specific structures, school structures, education systems, learning systems, and they have their, part to play, but they only shed light and they only place emphasis on certain types of learning, certain types of intelligence, certain types of like usefulness in the world. And so it's trained a lot of people to have the lens of hierarchy, I guess, around like what is and what is not beneficial, what will and what will not be able to support me in my life. And like at this point in time, it's not that we don't have the oracle at Delphi anymore, right? Like, and there's a lot of ways that certain people with certain gifts have either been feared or revered. Like, there's been a lot of like manipulation that has happened around certain people's gifts, skills, and abilities. And like, even moving away from that for a second, like, if you found that you were good at something that was not revered in the school system, then you may have felt like you as a person were just useless, or like you as a person were wrong or bad at learning, or like just not intelligent, or you know what I mean, like less than somehow in some sort of a way. And that is where I find like there needs to be this expansion of awareness, of cognizance, of understanding, because there is so many different, again, infinite forms of wisdom, intelligence, and gift that a human being can possess. And because we just live in this consumer lifestyle, it's like only certain types of gifts can be commodified, right? And it's like everybody's trying to make their way in this world. Obviously, we need to support ourselves, we need to survive, we need to make money, we need to have like some sort of basis in the human corporeal world to be able to support ourselves and move forward. And like, it's just that there has not been any support for those of us who are like, okay, but it's not maths for me, or like it's not English for me, or you know what I mean? There's these like inner like vibrant threads which are becoming awake in you, that have always existed as gifts, which have always existed as like pathways to sustain yourself in this life. But it's just that the world, you haven't seen the world as being set up to support you. You haven't seen the world as being like having the structures already in place. So basically it all boils down to the fact that you're a pioneer. Like, you're meant to pave a new pathway. You're meant to live a different type of life. You're meant to like use the inner gifts that you uncover, discover, and like and foster, and bring forward, because what you have is so valuable to the world, even though the world doesn't really quite understand that yet, or the world hasn't told you so far that it is valuable. But it absolutely is. Okay, just because it doesn't serve the current corrupt power structure doesn't mean that it's not important. Okay, like, newsflash. Okay, like, the gifts that you have are so important, especially to like where we're going energetically with the world next, which is such, like, I'm hearing like universal union. Like, there's so much more human-led, relationship-led, like there's just like this, it really feels like that age of Aquarius energy where we all come into that beautiful union where we find more peace, like world peace. Being called back to those monks who did that walk for peace across America as well. Like, there's such a giant movement at this time occurring individually within us as fractals and within the universe as a whole, that this is just the next part of our story, is finding this way to work together, finding this way to come into compassionate union with others, finding a way to like collaborate, to work together, like, and each of us bringing our own separate and unique gifts. I'm being shown also the Three of Pentacles, our separate unique gifts that other people might not understand, but they understand that it contributes. Like there's an understanding and an awakening now to like, oh, that's different. What is that? And like there's a curiosity more so than a fear at this time, because our collective consciousness has evolved to the point where the fear doesn't have the supportive frequencies anymore. We have evolved past that. We've expanded past that. It's moved and evolved into curiosity more so now. Like it's moved away from like superstition, fear, like believing everything that someone tells us. Like all of that has like really evolved. Like the understanding of human awareness has evolved to the point where we are here now at the leading edge of thought, you know, of awareness, of evolution, of the universe. We are the pioneers. We are on the front line. And many of you watching this, probably all of you watching this, will be at the front of the front line. Like you are, is it the honor guard? I don't know what it's called. You're at the front, like you're leading the pack. Okay, you're the pioneers. And so it's up to you to do the work that you feel called to do, okay? The inner work as well as the outer work that you are feeling called to do, and to answer the inner call as opposed to like making your actions in the world be a response to what is already out there. Because what's already out there is just merely like the shadow, the after effect, the reflection of what has already occurred. So like what you're seeing around you is like, it's almost like there's a delay. You're already ahead. You're already in front. Like light takes time to travel from A to B, and you're at the light source, okay? You're not at the light where the light is reaching, okay? Like the light takes 8 minutes to go from the sun to the earth. You're already 8 minutes ahead. You know what I mean? Like you are already on that leading edge where your consciousness, your awareness, your understanding, your ideas are already light years ahead of what is currently available, what you are currently seeing around you in your world, okay? You are ahead. Please let that like sink in, because you are the light source, okay? You are the light source, and it's your job to bring from source and like shine it into the world. I hope this is making sense, because this feels so trippy. Wow, there's like lots of light coming through here as well. Okay. Whew, I feel like, whew, let me take a coffee. I just feel like I really had one of those moments where I just felt the love of God, you know? I just felt the primordial love of the universe. It was one of those moments where like everything is okay. Like everything just feels like it's in the right place, and like everything's working out. Like everything is as it should be. It was just like a harmonious moment of like the universe was singing, humming. And we're all here in that. We're bathing in that every single moment of every single day. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are so supported. You are so loved. You are so, so loved. And like you are chosen. You are one of the chosen ones, okay? The fact that you are here and now, the fact that you're hearing these words, you're chosen. You are chosen, and you're awakening to this and choosing yourself also, which is even more powerful. Yeah, and there's just no going back from that once you make that realization that you choose yourself. Because the world, again, like the world is always going to be that mirror, and the world is always going to be like with that slight delay. The world is always going to be behind, because the inner knowing is so instant, it's so present, it's so here and now. And then like there's like a delay and a time lag that it takes to get from like that aha and that inner moment and that presence to like expand and ripple out from you. And like as it arises within you, this is so tricky to say, it's like even though the world may seem like it's behind and like there's like a delay and like all of that kind of thing, it's like it still is always present within you. So like there's no again, like there's no separation. It's just sort of understanding the timeline of how things play out, and like how to keep holding the ankh, keep holding that present moment, and keep riding the wave at the forefront, like keep being at the frontier, keep being the pioneer, keep understanding that like the world will always be catching up to you, and that you are always at home where you are. You're always so held where you are. Energetically, you're always so supported and so loved, and that it's just like there is this like constant, again, it's like the universe, like there is no problem. It's always in a state of becoming. You're always exactly right where you're meant to be. There's no like, oh, I'm always going to have like a gap between me and the world or something. Like, it's not to make you feel separate. It's to make you feel incredibly like whole and a part of everything, and like develop your awareness, your fine-tuned awareness around the nature of time, the nature of energy, space, reality, and how things are unfolding always in their natural state, at their natural rhythm. There's nothing you need to speed up. There's nothing you need to slow down. There's like nothing, there's like, you don't need to convince anybody of anything. Like, you are exactly where you need to be. You are supported exactly in the ways that you need to be supported. And you within you have this absolutely infinite well of wisdom and knowledge that nobody and nothing can take from you. And that's it. Like, you are whole. You're whole within yourself. And you are whole within the whole. Om Purnamadah, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantih. Hari Om. Look it up, okay? The whole. When you take the whole from the whole remains. Ah, it's such a beautiful one. It's such a beautiful one. And it just like, it's something that we've always known. This is ancient knowledge. This is ancient knowledge. And yet it's present knowledge also. It's ancient present knowledge. It's present ancient knowledge. Like the echoes of everything through time. It's so beautiful. I keep being shown that ankh. That's the message. I thought I was going to keep it short today, but here we go at 22:02. So thank you for spending some of your time here with me today. I adore you. The universe adores you. Go and do something good in the world. And yeah, I'll see you very shortly in our next message together. Ciao, bambino.